Hi, my name's Kathy. I'm from the Learning Center at Red Willow. I'm here with Christine Lustig, and Christine, of course, is a familiar face on our schedule here at the Learning Center. She has taught a lot of classes for us over the years, and they've all been just great. One of the things that Christine is adding to her repertoire here at the Learning Center is Introduction to Mindfulness. So this is a course that Christine has taught elsewhere, but she's going to finally offer it here for us. So we're really excited about that. One of the things I think that is important is for people to understand what is mindfulness. It gets thrown around a lot, that term. What does that mean, actually?
I think that's a really important concept to get our heads around, because a lot of people, I think the misconception is that mindfulness is, if I do mindfulness, my mind is magically going to be clear all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And the reality is we all think a lot. And mindfulness is really that ability to come back to the present moment, no matter where we are, no matter what we're going through, no matter what our emotions are, our thoughts, to come back to the present moment and notice what's happening right now. That ability for mindfulness, and to do that with some curiosity and friendliness towards ourselves versus judgment every time.
Right.
To be able to do that is what allows us to find a little space between our automatic reaction and a more thoughtful response as we go through our days, as we sit in meetings, as we work with our kids and our spouses. So mindfulness really is that practicing that ability to recognize when we're somewhere else and to come back to the present moment.
Okay. Perfect. So understanding that, can you help me understand what the practice of mindfulness would maybe do for me, for example? I'm super busy and always going a million miles an hour. I may have a little stress in my life, just maybe a little, so how does this idea of being present in the moment, right now, here and now, what does that have to do with, my everyday life? How does that help?
Yeah. Well, I can speak from my own experience and my long-time practice and the people I see taking the classes. How that helps is that when we begin recognizing when we're stressed and coming back, first of all, it allows us to focus a little better. We still sometimes are like, oh, wow, I'm thinking about that thing that happened with the kids before I left the house, and I'm sitting in a meeting now. But if I can recognize I'm thinking about that after a few seconds instead of 5 minutes, I can come back and be in that present moment. Most of our stress occurs when we're worried about what happened or what's going to happen versus we don't have a lot of stress when we're just dealing one-on-one with what's happening right now.
Right.
So when we can be in the present moment and respond thoughtfully and notice how we're reacting, what kind of emotions are arising, what kind of thoughts, we have more ability to work with them. And so that's actually how we work a lot with people with stress. We practice that focus. Mindfulness really, the mindfulness meditation really is simply that training of the mind, that ability to practice. If we're going to play basketball, we're going to spend a lot of time on the court throwing baskets.
Right.
If we want to practice being in the present moment versus just allowing our mind to think and go crazy and multitask, then we have to practice being in the present moment.
Right.
And that's our goal, really, is to do that. And then by doing that, we can take it one step further and not only notice when we're maybe stressed or overstretched, but we can begin to recognize when other emotions are coming in, when maybe we're noticing some anxiety or some sadness or some different things.
Right.
Again, not to judge them, but just to notice them, and it's like, oh, is that an appropriate emotion right now? And how am I going to work with that instead of letting it kind of run rampant and we don't even know that it's really there.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's really about coming back to present time.
That's really what it's about.
At the end of the day. Okay, excellent. I think that sounds great. And so if you're interested in signing up for Christine's class, you can go to our website at www.redwillowlearning.org, and it's under the Sign Up for Classes tab. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in class.
See you there.